And sticking in Europe, I'm going to go big. I'm going to go big here with one of the storylines that I'm really excited to see about for 2026. England.
Oh, man. How could you not be excited?
I see them as true title contenders for the Euros and for the World Cup in the United States. The British are coming. Watch out, bro. Dude, Jude Bellingham, Declan Rice as your starting midfield, and that's going to happen in 3 years, when there's even better.
Yeah.
And then Phil Foden right now. My God, Jack Grealish on the other side if he's healthy. And then at that point, all these players will be absolutely in their prime. Yeah. And then you'll have a veteran, experienced player in Harry Kane to top it all off.
Throw in Marcus Rashford, if you will.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I don't really have much else to say other than the quality of England is one of the highest in all of international football. And you can make fun of them as much as you want because they're British, they're English, whatever you want to do. They are one of the best teams right now, and I think they'll prove it at the Euros. For them, once we get there, we'll do our deep dives, but already England have to make it to the semifinals, no less, and I expect them to, really go for the title in Europe. And that'd be an incredible milestone for them to actually achieve something like that. And it'd be the perfect precursor to then take that form and then just go off at the 2026 World Cup. I think this specific generation of English players are onto something different, man. They're on a whole different vibe, a whole different energy than I've ever seen an English team possess before. And honestly, I recognized it in the build-up to the 2020 Euros. I immediately knew, I was like, oh, this team's, they're different, bro. Obviously making it to the final. And then, falling a little bit short at the 2022 World Cup. But you really, really think about it, man. That team was young, or at least in the important positions on the pitch. That team was very, very young. I see this team just getting better and better and better. And the fact that as a younger, inexperienced team, they were making finals, semifinals, man, I think they'll be able to actually finish it off and win some sort of title.
Dude, Bukayo Saka, another name that we got to mention, bro. Another goddamn name.
Come on, man. You could even use Sterling as a bench player if you want to. Man. There's so many options, man.
I see a lot of similarities between the USA and England, man. Which is funny because they've been compared there's a lot of history there. There's been wars, there's been jokes, there's been beef. There's been so much between these two teams. But in a footballing sense, they represent a lot of the same thing, which is a stigma, a stereotype attached to who they are in the footballing world. The USA has been made fun of for decades and what they've tried to do within football. England has been made fun of for their inability to really shine on the biggest stage despite the royal history they have at the league level. But they're both trying to break those stigmas. They're both trying to break those stereotypes, and they're both doing it right now in the build-up to the tournament by having really fun, youthful teams that wear white-based jerseys and find themselves both having the same challenge at the end of the day, which for me isn't about the talent, isn't about the quality. It's their coaching. I've said it before when we talked about Berhalter. I think it's going to come down to him to define how far that USA team can go. If he is the guy, then he can take them as far as they can possibly go. But the same goes for Southgate, a man that has garnered so much controversy with his utilization of his players, the arsenal that he has at hand, and how to many he's mismanaged the true potential of what they've been able to do. I wonder if he ultimately will hold back this England squad from winning the trophies that we desire them to win, man.
Yeah, that's the $1 million question, man. It gets tricky because of my first point in the sense that England's talent pool is so stacked that can that be enough? And my initial answer is yes, simply because of the style that these guys all play. I think can definitely be enough to beat 95% of teams, right? So now the question becomes, can Southgate do the remaining 5%? I don't want to pull any sort of trigger, I would say, until after the Euros. If they win it, Southgate's the guy. If they don't, I actually would immediately consider getting a new manager. I would actually be very okay with Southgate remaining on as manager until after the Euros completely. And I know he gets a lot of criticism.
If they win it?
I'm saying right now, because people are asking for his job constantly, bro. I'm completely okay with Southgate staying on until the Euros.
Oh, until okay.
Yeah, up to the Euros, and then after they make it, they should make the decision. I don't think they should make any sort of decision now.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. That's for sure. I'm asking more within the sense of the World Cup and if he's the guy to guide them, but I understand what you're saying. I don't want another article written yet, right? About what we said about Southgate. I want to get the information after the Euros. Let's see what happens.
Exactly.
Let's give him that shot. At the end of the day, he led them to the goddamn final, and they could have won it if penalties had gone their way. So I do think people kind of overhype or, just like the Harry Maguire situation. Right. People run away with the stigma they have about a certain person. I think Southgate deserves one more Euros. Let's give it to him. But then after that, let's gauge and see what happens. But, dude, England could be that team. The only last concern I have is that when they played against France in that quarterfinal matchup in the World Cup, I did feel that it was clear that they were outclassed, that they were the lesser team. Yeah. And I understand they were young at that time. They were still inexperienced, but I'm afraid that the same might happen again. They face off against a top 1 or 2 team in the world. They get Argentina in quarters. They get Brazil perhaps in the semis, whoever it might be, and that class difference is showed. What do you think they would have to do to kind of eliminate that? Because I think rather than playing toe-to-toe with France, they did play a slight level under that ended up seeing them lose a game.
Yeah, no, I have no qualms about that France performance. France were better. France definitely were better, and they deserved to go through. But that is my point, is that all of the players that are playing at a very high level right now are pretty young. And that exact reason is why I have England being so much more confident in 2026. It's why I'm okay with USA's performance in 2022 as well. It will largely be the same team that started in 2022 for 2026, but they'll be so much better. And that's how I see England. If England's end was a quarterfinal exit against one of the best teams in the world and they were inexperienced, then imagine the same team but so much more developed in every single position, bro.
Damn, that gets me excited.
That's a finals appearance team, bro.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not worried about it. Now, obviously, we need to see that evidence, and I think we'll see it in the Euros.
And to finalize my USA-England analogy, England winning it in the USA.
Yeah, that'd be nuts, man. It'd be crazy.
That'd be crazy.
It'd be nuts. But it would also just make so much sense. Like the culture England's on right now, like with music, art, football, it would just make sense to do it in the United States, bro. It would just make so much sense.
Yeah, dude. Oh, man, an England, I don't know, say France final, England-Brazil final. Because the South American team would be crazy. In the final, bro.
That'd be dope, dude.
Or an England-USA final to just finish it the fuck
Absolutely, man. It'd be nuts. It'd be fucking crazy, bro.